Hi everybody and welcome to video number 39 in my EFT series, which I'm going to be doing about EFT for shoulder pain. I would recommend you watch this video together with video number 3, which I've done for pain. And I would also ask you to take responsibility for your own well-being and ask you to wash your hands. If it's not possible to wash your hands, then do not tap on the face points. So about pain, I think as I mentioned in my previous video about pain, the better we are able to tune in and to describe the pain or what the pain is telling us, the emotions behind it, the better the healing with the EFT. And someone asked me this question: do I always have to say these affirmations out loud because I find it a bit difficult? And my answer to that would be no, you don't have to say anything aloud if you don't want to. The reason why we do these setups or these affirmations along is so that you're able to tune in better to whatever it is you are tapping on, whichever issues you've got, so that then like the tapping knows which areas to target. So by saying the affirmations aloud, we are able to tune in better to wherever the pain is for us. So let us just do the first round, just really tuning in to the pain in your shoulders. Just tune in and perhaps ask yourself, what is the message that perhaps the pain could be telling you? Also tune into the intensity and anything else like emotions and other things. So we'll just do this round, just tuning in, to this pain in the shoulders that you've got, either one shoulder or both shoulders, whichever it is for you. Just adjust, just adjust it to wherever it is for you. If it's one shoulder, then say, yeah, in my left shoulder, right shoulder, both shoulders, that's fine. And it's also possible, if you want to, that you can just step silently. You don't have to say anything. Just focus on the pain. You can close your eyes and let's start. Even though I've got this shoulder pain, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've got this stiffness in my shoulders, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my shoulders hurt and are stiff, I love and accept myself and my body and my shoulders. Okay, so just a reminder phrase and continue tuning in to the pain. So this shoulder pain, this stiffness in my shoulders, my shoulders hurt, this pain in my shoulders, this shoulder pain, this stiffness in my shoulders, this pain in my shoulders, this shoulder pain, all this stiffness in my shoulders, this pain in my shoulders, this pain in my shoulders, this stiff pain in my shoulders, all this stiffness in my shoulders. Okay, so take a deep breath in and really tune in what it is like for you to have this pain. If you want to move your shoulders a little bit and just tune in to what the intensity is for you. For me, it would be about 6. And ask yourself, what is the message? Is there some message? We often are not listening to our body, and we are trying to find all kinds of ways of avoiding that pain. So this EFT tapping is really good for you to really get in touch. And there's no rush, take as much time as you need to. Pause the video if you need to before continuing further. So, for me, the message I'm getting from my shoulder pain is that, I've always been kind of carrying the weight of everything on my shoulders, and perhaps not just my own issues, but I've been taking on other people's issues. So see what is the message for you, and then we can just start tapping on that. So even though I've been carrying all this weight on my shoulders, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've been carrying all this weight and all this burden, my burden and other people's burden, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm carrying all this weight on my shoulders, my own weight and other people's weight, all on my shoulders, I love and accept myself and my body and my shoulders. Okay, so continue tapping on the message that your shoulder or shoulders, is passing on to you. So for me, it is all this burden on my shoulders. I'm just carrying all this weight on my shoulders. All this burden on my shoulders. All this heaviness in my shoulders. My own burden. But other people's burdens as well. It's just been too much. So my shoulders had enough. All this stiffness in my shoulders. All this burden in my shoulders. All this heavy burden in my shoulders. I'm letting go of all these burdens. I no longer need all these burdens. Just letting go of all this burden. And if you want to shake your hands and just let it go, let all this burden just go. And then put your hands back onto your heart, shoulder, and tune in and feel the intensity. And I can feel that heavy load, that burden is slowly starting to lift. And I think I said it was about 7 at the start of the tapping, and I feel it's about 4 or 5 now. So, and I can feel, like my shoulders are loosening at the moment, and just see what it's like for you. And continue tuning in to all this pain. Also, you might like to think, when was the first time when you experienced, pain in your shoulders? Because there could be another message. For example, for me, I first noticed that this kind of heaviness and tightness in my shoulders started was when my youngest son was just about starting his school, and so suddenly there I was, and you know, he was going, there was some kind of sense of separation, abandonment, you know, all these things. And you know, you can tap on that at a later stage, but for now let us see what it is, what emotions you've been storing in your shoulders. And it might have been anger, might have been fear, frustration, you know, all that. So let's do a round tapping on you know, on the emotions which are there, which are, you know, which are being stored in your shoulders. So again, you know, adjust it to whatever it is, whatever it feels for you. So even though I've got all this frustration and I've been storing it in my shoulders, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've got all this anger in my shoulders, I deeply and completely love and accept myself and my shoulders. Even though I've been storing all this fear in my shoulders, I love and accept myself and my body and my shoulders. Okay, so just tap what emotions there are, just tap on them. So I've got this frustration in my shoulders, all this anger in my shoulders, all this fear in my shoulders, all this worry I've been storing in my shoulders, all this fear in my shoulders, all this anger in my shoulders. Who would I be without my anger? Who would I be without my fear? I'm just prepared to let go of all this anger, letting go of all this fear, letting go of all this frustration, letting go of all these worries, letting go of all this fear. Okay, so take a deep breath in, tune in, see what the pain is like, and see what the intensity is. For me, it's about 2 or 3 now. And if you want to, please continue till you've gone down to 0, or you can continue some other day. But as you probably know, I always like to finish the tapping session on something positive. You know, do a bit of positive tapping. So ask yourself, what would you like to send to your shoulders? You know, what is it you would like to send to your shoulders? So I'd like to send my shoulders some flexibility, some love, some peace, some compassion. So whatever it is you would like to send to your shoulders, just tap on that. Just do this round of positive tapping. So sending this flexibility to my shoulders, sending love to my shoulders, Sending peace to my shoulders. Sending compassion to my shoulders. And also thank you, shoulders, for carrying all this weight for me. Now I know I can let go of all this weight. And I can surround my shoulders with love and flexibility and peace for my shoulders. Compassion for my shoulders. Happiness for my shoulders. And laughter, you know. Laugh to my shoulders. Okay, so take a deep breath, and how does it feel now? And, you know, someone could ask, well, you know, I've had an injury. I was injured years ago, and I continue having pain in my shoulders, and, you know, like asking, well, is it still relevant for me to tap? And yes, it is still relevant to tap. You might also want to tap on letting go of the trauma of the accident, because that could be stored in your shoulders. But also, you know, when we suffer injuries, often the weakest part of our body is kind of targeted most, and so that's why it is good to tap, you know, on the injury, on the pain injury, and it will be good tapping for you if it's acute pain, chronic pain. As I mentioned in my other video about pain, you know, the more chronic the pain, it will take a bit long. The longer it will take for you to tap and clear those issues. You know, I myself had shoulder pain and stiffness for years, but you know, every time I do tap, I can feel a lot of it is lifted, and there is so much more flexibility. And yeah, so, you know, good luck with all your tapping. Hope your shoulder pain improves, as it will, and I look forward to seeing you during my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.